Um, I mentioned that God wouldn't necessarily instill these ideas that these chosen special uh, Jews, I guess they call themselves, um, have. One of the things, because if you look in the Bible, there's a parable about called the unclean spirit. When you sweep the unclean spirit out of the house, and this is why pride is bad, because pride will nail you in the end. When you hit this moment of enlightenment and rebirth, there's a splits off. There's a right-hand path and a left-hand path. Now, the path you're going to take is what you load yourself up with before you go into that experience. So God would never charge everybody's ego up, especially his own people, to poison their mind like that. That's totally antichrist type thinking and ideas and practices. Anti meaning opposite. Not antichrist meaning like, oh, he's got horns in his head, he comes with a big sign that says antichrist. No, sorry. Devil doesn't work like that, okay? I don't know where you're getting your fucking schizophrenia from about all that. But, you know, the devil is somebody that you wouldn't be able to avoid. He'll come and sweep you right off your feet, tell you everything you want to hear, and all that shit. So, you know, if any of the academics or scholars think, you know, I'm the devil, they're pretty much just like the Pharisees. If I was the devil, you'd never beat me. If I was the devil, I would have you already. Like you wouldn't be able to avoid me. That's not what the devil does. He's a lot smarter than that. You know, so say this devil entity existed, he's not going to self-sabotage himself with messy hair and all the rest of that. Okay, because that's kind of what that is, to be naked and ashamed. So when you cast out the ego, when you purge the I, so all these dark web people trying to act like, oh yeah, I got rid of an eye, I lost an eye. That's fucking garbage lies. It takes a long time to do that. And then when you do that, you can become a fucking monster with a messiah complex. Or you can take an associative play type route. There's also a middle path too, which is a combination of the left hand and right hand path. But all these people are attuned to take the left hand path, if they ever did reach enlightenment. Which, you know, I don't know if they would. I have faith that everyone will be able to reach this point and excel in the future without all the troubles that go along with it, because it can be very dangerous. Like I said, you get a messiah complex, and you feel like you've made it. You figured out everything. You got the answers. It's so clear. It's so there's clarity. It's like crisp, like fresh. And you can laugh at the enlightenment and say this is just a chance to start over again, or you can get empowered off of it. So all this empowerment, get women empowered, get people empowered in the culture, that's all poison to set them up later. So they're taking that now, it seems benign and innocent, but it's a subtle killer. It's going to snap back on them later. Snap their head in a bear trap. Especially with all this psychedelic shit going on. People want to get into using psychedelics. They're messing with a world they have no clue about. And that's just typical of white culture, to just take everything however they want it. You know, they just have this entitlement. They feel like they could do enlightenment however, nobody's going to tell them what to do, and all this stuff. Okay, anyone that's enlightened can see you're a bunch of liars. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, and I can tell you're not enlightened because when you hit that state, we're hip to all your bullshit. We can see that. You know, we won't always say it, but we can see it. The people out there that are enlightened, these Lao Tzu and, you know, past people that were here, they can see all that shit. Alright, we're not fucking stupid. We just play stupid. Alright? And we embrace that. We embrace our flaws. Okay, while everyone else tries to deny their flaws, we embrace ours. And, Lao Tzu said the master doesn't go out and get things. Things come to him. And that's what you do. You create a gravity to pull people in, but you don't want to captivate them off the inverse, because then you stun them in quantum Zeno effects. When you start captivating them and doing all that shit to them, you're collapsing their quantum system. You're really arresting their development. So, there's a science that a bit of an art. Whiteness, academia doesn't respect things. We already know that, obviously. And they don't respect the art. They don't respect the dangers involved. They're still immature, like punk kids. They think they're indestructible, untouchable, all this other shit. Um, they talk metaphysical woo woo, and then they have no respect for a spirit world. Like if I said there's a spirit that goes around like Mr. Smith in the Matrix, it will fuck you up if you cross it, because that's what it is. They wouldn't believe that. They'd be like, "Oh, not me. I heard that's crazy talk." Yet they believe all this metaphysical other stuff. So they're basically in a conundrum where, yeah, they've admitted to the metaphysical. Now it's like, how do you know you're not dealing with the devil? Or how do you know that was God? Then we're getting into all that stuff. And that's kind of where I want to bring the culture. And you have to trick these people backwards. Donald Trump does the same thing. So he might bark out a command, but he doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to do the opposite just to spite him. So he'll use your spite. He's like a demonologist. He uses your spite to control you into doing what he wants. He control you off the inverse. He used a lot of tactics like that. That's one of the reasons that I thought he would be a good president. I don't vote. I didn't vote. But he would be somebody that we can all learn a lesson from. A huge lesson. And if we don't want to learn, we're going to keep getting exploited into postmodernism, Marxism, all these fucking boogeymen that shouldn't be here, like relativism. That shouldn't exist, So you got to gravity rewind that off, get rid of it. And people don't know how to do